All right, all right. Well, welcome in everybody to today's OddKey Cafe. Today we're joined by some special guests, the co-creators of the new Spawn title coming out, The Curse of Sherlee Johnson. Writer Daniel Henriques and artist Jonathan Glapius are here with us this evening. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. I guess right out the gate, I'm personally curious because last time we talked, you guys were still in kind of the development phase and creating the title, and it was called No Home Here. So when did you guys kind of change the title to The Curse of Sherlee Johnson, and where are you guys at now? I know the title's coming out next month. Like, are you guys looking forward to it? How excited are you guys?
Yes. Do you want to answer that, Jonathan, of why the title changed?
Because Todd decided to call right before the book went to print.
In January.
In January. So he felt like the title needed to have like a recognizable thing, like a character's name, like a character or something like that would help. It was his instinct. So I'm not really here to argue with Todd's instinct. He's a lot more successful than me. So that's why it changed. It didn't change because of it didn't change because of like anything bad happened or anything like that. No. It just made it so that it had to be resolicited. Because it was a complete name change. So it gave us a little bit more production time, a little bit more time to kind of promote it. And he's like been on board with all of that. So, it was what it was.
I will say, though, because again, we were already accustomed to the name No Home Here. And even like internet wise, it already had some recognition from the interviews and all that we've been having. So when Todd wanted to change it was a little bit like, oh, really? A few days before it goes to print? But, again, like Jonathan said, in Todd we trust. And it's like, okay, let's do that. What do we come up with? Todd and them, suggested some ideas. We didn't quite like them. So me and Jonathan suggested The Curse of Sherlee Johnson. And so the name got changed, and only after, because we were still thinking, okay, the book goes to print in a day or two, that's great. And then it's like, oh, guys, after all, sorry. Now it's pushed back 3 months because it has to be resolicited. But like Jonathan said, it gave us more time for production, but Todd also agreed and suggested actually to, instead of launch just a regular 20-page issue like it was planned, let's make it a double issue. So it got pushed back 3 months, but now we're getting twice as much comic. So it was, there's a little bit of compromise there.
Ah, got you. So the story's going to be longer now.
Yes, it's 44 pages now, the launch, and it was 22 pages before.
Okay, so it's like a 2-episode release. I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys still came up with the title, just Todd gave you the suggestion of changing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got you. That's awesome. Well,
and the little fun thing when you do read issue 1, that first title will mean something to you after you read issue 1.
Hell yeah.
Thing.
Go ahead, Dan.
No, I was going to say, yeah, and there's also, this is not, anything. It's not, I don't think it's out, but it doesn't really matter much because now the book is The Curse of Sherlee Johnson, but the first arc is called No Home Here. And there will be a connection inside of the book, but we didn't completely lost it. We're still using it.
Got you. Okay. And that's coming out on May 21st, correct?
Correct.
Sweet. Yeah, guys, you guys make sure you check out the Curse of Sherlee Johnson. I still want to say No Home Here. It's in printing.
Yeah.
First art. Gotcha. Well, I appreciate
Old school people know what you're talking about.
Exactly. That's the OGs. Well, it's been cool to watch the development from the sidelines. If any of you guys in the audience have questions, feel free to raise your hand and I'll bring you up on stage. And you guys can come up, shoot some shit, and ask some questions. And Boule, welcome to the stage, man. You got to unmute yourself, buddy.
Yep. Sorry about that. Daniel and Jonathan, thank you so much for doing this. I think my first question, I'm too late. I was going to ask if the doodle could be she spawn, but I think I'm too late. And then number 2, is there any chance the doodle could become a digital collectible?
Lips, yeah. I mean, if you guys want it.
Yeah, I mean, what we like to do is anybody who attends these events, if the artist is willing, they can just kind of mint them as a digital collectible, fun little kind of gift just for people showing up here live. This is recorded and this is also streaming to Twitter. So shout out all you guys watching on X. Make sure you join the Discord so you can actually interact with John and Dan and interact over on Twitter.
I have to say, I wonder if I'm the one that's blind. I can't see Jonathan's stream, actually. For some reason, for me, it just keeps loading and loading and loading. I will say it's fine for me. I'm tired of seeing Jonathan drawing at this point. Even hearing him, it's already a pain in the ass, but it's fine.
No one else can see it? Or
I can see it, and our stream can see it. So Discord is a little bit laggy lately.
Okay.
If you guys can't see it, I would back out and refresh and then come back in. It should be fine. Multiple people are having the same issue as you, Dan, but a few others can see it. So I guess.
Oh, what a shame! I did a full cover.
Yeah, Dan, you've actually been talking shit about you on this drawing. I thought you were watching.
He's hashtagging curse words for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Mbul, you got any more questions, man?
Yeah, just one other one. Do you guys have any funny interactions with Todd that you can talk about?
Other than Todd completely derailing the name of our book a few days before going to print?
Yeah, are there any other good ones?
I got another one.
I got a lot of them, but
not that you can talk about.
Let me think. Funny interactions with Todd. Let me think. I don't know. This is a funny one, but I do remember. What show? We were at some show. What show was it? The Signatures. Did I tell you about that, Daniel?
Oh yes.
When Todd was show. Do you remember what show that was? Was that San Diego?
I think it was San Diego.
San Diego, right? Yeah, San Diego. Yeah, San Diego. He was Todd was talking to somebody else, and we were like behind the Spawn booth, and I don't know. This might not be funny, but he was showing how his old signature was, and he was saying because his parents had really good penmanship, so he had this very like loopy floral kind of signature, not like we know today. And it was like, so he did it on this piece of paper, and then he did his regular signature on the other side of the paper. And I was like, I never knew that. That's kind of crazy. And then he just threw it on the table, and I had to go back to sign at my table. And I remember when I got to my table, I thought, I probably should have took that.
Steal it and put it on eBay.
No, that not the funniest story I had. I've got some good ones, but I do. That was kind of funny to me.
I am remembering something with, and I don't know if this is so much funny as it is to a certain degree sad to me, but in a funny way. So I got into the business and I got into inking in general because I had a dream to one day ink Todd. And living in Portugal, we didn't have before the days of the internet, we didn't have a lot of a big comic book community. So I didn't know that Todd actually doesn't use inkers. So I just, I got in with the dream to one day ink Todd. And I worked towards it. I even I befriended Jonathan just because of that, in the hopes he would introduce me to Todd one day. I didn't care about anything else. And I eventually met Todd, and I still had my dream of one day ink Todd. I bugged him a few times, and he politely just said, I just inked myself. And I kept pushing and pushing until one day on a live stream, I don't remember where, but I got in the comic session and I said, hey, Todd, would you ever let Daniel Henriques ink you? and Todd saw that was me, and his reply to the entire stream was, why, I like you, Daniel. So imagine that I do a drawing that I also like. You keep asking that you wanted me to ink you, or that you wanted to ink me, and I do a drawing, I like it, and then you come in, and it's not even that you do a bad job, but you don't do exactly what I like. And I'm pretty good at what I do, and you might not be as good at what I do. And then from liking you, I'm going to start hating you forever. Do you want to take that risk? And that's when I decided that I'm never going to ask Todd again if I can ink him.
That's hilarious. That's a good story. I do like that one. John, I also like your signature story because I remember Todd would actually talked about his old signature at one of our OddKey events way back when at San Diego. And he had that kind of same story where he did his old signature and it just looked like trash. But the new one's great. Appreciate your questions, Mbul.
Thanks, guys.
For sure.
Thank you.
On my way. Welcome to stage, man.
What's going on, Rem Doug? What's going on, Jonathan, Daniel? Honestly,
Hey, what's going on?
I just wanted to pop up here and say this live drawing is pretty dope. Being able to have you artists in this space and just kick it with us, it's pretty awesome. Like it doesn't happen much in the greater Web3 space, so seeing it here and frequently and hearing the stories of you and Todd, and it's dope. So thank you for stopping by, guys. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And it's a very rare sighting to see Jonathan drawing. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I don't even like drawing at shows. I don't know. But you're getting an original. We'll make this. We can make this guy.
You can do whatever the hell you want here, John.
We could. Yeah, we can make him. We can kind of make him a Spawn guy, right? Look.
Well, technically, again, it's our book. We can put whoever we want.
80s Spawn.
Hell
yeah. We could give him.
So now that the first issue is 44 pages long, how long is the series going to be?
As of now,
350 issues.
No, as of now, and if people are good enough to try and join us in this venture, it's an ongoing book. So we're going to keep going as long as there's support.
Got you. So it's an indefinite kind of thing. Seeing what the vibe is. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Well, shout out to the over 400. We have 440 people watching over on Twitter when there's only 30 of us here on Discord. Make sure if you guys are on Twitter, come join the Discord so you guys can actually come up on stage, interact, and ask some questions. I know people are having some stream issues, which is why people are bailing over to Twitter, but I guess there's not much we can do there.
Right. That's what I end up doing was that I also opened Twitter, and I am finally seeing Jonathan drawing and talking here at the same time. So doing both.
Hell yeah. Well, I have actually a question. Just
listening to your own interview, that's weird.
Yeah, that's egotistical, huh?
I love the sound of my own voice.
So since Todd since the title ended up getting changed to 3 days before print, soliciting means just like getting the whole printing side of things in order, right? It wouldn't take you 3 months to just come up with a new cover.
No, not at all. Not at all. Again, we needed a new logo, but even that doesn't take 3 months. It is 100% just for the system of how it works for comic book shops to be able to order. It was literally, it's a technicality. As far as the book being ready to go out, it's been ready. It was ready at that point, and now we just kept going forward. Interesting.
Yeah, I always find the business side of the comic book industry fascinating just because everyone's experiences are different. And like you said, I'm not, the soliciting period being 3 months just from one simple change is baffling.
Yeah. Well, and to give you an idea, again, I don't know if everybody here knows about that, because, we appreciate the support. If anybody's willing to buy the book and support us, we appreciate it in any form or in any period of time per se. But this pre-order period, it's really, really important for the series, because it's when the companies can have a sense of what the demand and interest for the book is. So that's why there's this period, because then it's almost a month until the book is actually out. The pre-orders really allow for the stores to be able to get a kind of gauge the interest in the book. And it is really important for creators in a book. So again, if people buy it after the fact at shops, that's amazing. If you're able to pre-order, that's even better.
Hell yeah. Well, you guys heard the man. Make sure you guys go check your pre-orders, and at least one, because you got to read the book. It's been last time you guys were here was over a year ago. So how long have you guys been?
I think so. Yeah.
Have you been working on anything else outside of it? Obviously, I mean, anything else coming up on the horizon?
Covers.
All Sherlee Johnson covers.
For me, like, covers, and just the book, and then just do some shows, but just the book, and then the covers for the various Spawn titles and our own book.
Yep, same here. Other than, again, just doing this with Jonathan and writing this, I also draw a little bit, so I've also been doing some covers for Todd here and there for some of the books. Mine, barely any are out. I don't have the productive output that Jonathan has. I only do it here and there, but that pretty much the same. It kind of, in my opinion, I don't know about Jonathan too, because it's not just the time consuming part of this, of how much it takes to do a book. A lot more for Jonathan than for me at this point, but we're so invested in this that there's no reason even to be looking for other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No. Nope.
Absolutely. That's awesome. You guys' baby's coming out in a month. I'm super looking forward to it. I think the cover's sweet. I really like Todd's cover that he did as well. I think I'll have to get one of each.
Yeah, in there, I don't know if any of you guys, I don't know if any of you guys saw, because it's only been posted. I only posted a little snippet on Instagram, but there's one final cover that's going to make its debut in a couple of days, which is a really, really nice cover by Ryan Otley.
Ooh, it's on your Instagram, you say? Somebody in chat, please go find it and post it here.
It's just a little sneak peek, because it's being
snippet
prepared.
Of his name.
Of his signature. But so it was just to kind of keep people primed and aware, per se, that it's going to be dropping. People will probably have like a week.
McFarlane, Glapion, and Otley for issue number 1.
Yes. So we have cover A, Jonathan, cover B and C, Todd, one in colors and one black and white. Then cover D, it's just a regular blank sketch cover. And there's actually a cover E. I don't know if anybody ever realized this, but it's not really our book. It's a reprint of the original issue number 5 of Spawn, which I really want to say, I need to double check on this. Todd never did a reprint of any of his issues, other than you have Spawn number 1 that comes out as one of those $1 number 1 books that Image does. But other than that, I don't think he's ever reprinted anything. And he's reprinting issue number 5 as almost a commemoration of the launch of our book, which is really cool. And then again, we'll have Otley's cover that should be dropping in the next few days.
Heck yeah. And for those of you, maybe not everyone in the audience is familiar with kind of you guys' origin story of Sherlee Johnson. You guys maybe want to go into a little bit about the inspiration, just the origin of this book for those that are maybe interested in pre-ordering right now?
Sure. Do you want to talk a little bit, Jonathan, or is it just me rambling? Jonathan?
Can you not hear me?
Oh, now I can.
Hello?
They're a little
We lost you.
Oh, yeah, we're delayed.
I was going to say, do you want to talk about it, or should I keep rambling?
No, go ahead.
Well, so our book is it takes its origins from Spawn number 5, which in my opinion, it's a really, really important issue of Spawn. Not necessarily because it has a big villain, but it's the issue where it has like the child killer, Billy Kincaid. And we did an interview recently with Todd that he said that this book was his message to the world that Spawn is not Batman. And I think we can see that with the brutality in which Spawn dispatches his enemies. But in that issue, you see this little girl for 2 panels, which is Sherlee Johnson, and then she's taken by Billy and she's killed. And then Spawn comes in, he kicks Billy Kincaid's ass and just disappears. And everybody just assumes that Shirley was dead. But in my mind, I always wondered, because that happened very fast, I always wondered, what if he mutilated her? Because we at least see that he cut off her fingers. It's in his little finger painting. But what if she was still alive inside of the freezer where he kept his victims? What if she through a little crack in the door? She saw Spawn come in like this superhero, and she thinks, maybe, oh my God, I'm going to be saved. And Spawn just comes in, kicks the shit out of Kincaid, and goes away. And she sees her hero go away and then ends up dying alone. I always had that in my mind. Spawn being anti-hero and just doing his own vengeance meant he never even looked for the victim. And that created this whole story behind it. And again, me and Jonathan have been wanting to do, Jonathan has been wanting to draw, I've been wanting, or sequentials and covers, I've been wanting to write. So we started expanding on the story. And what you see in the covers right now, Shirley is very, very changed. She has clown's face paint makeup. And we don't know why. It's part of what we're going to explore. But we also see in the new Gunslinger story that Todd was writing, in the very beginning, we see that Kincaid and Clown made a deal. And the Clown now has these little tiny minions that look just like him, who are the souls of every kid that Billy Kincaid killed. But in our story, Shirley, even though she does have the face paint, she still remains Shirley. And again, that's a big part of the story. I really don't want to enter in much spoilers. I can say that the story starts with her stuck in a loop, kind of reliving her own death over and over again. So who knows for how long she keeps suffering at Billy's hands, and she keeps having the disappointment of seeing Spawn enter and never save her. So that's how the story starts.
Wow. And for those of you guys that didn't catch the beginning, the first issue will be 44 pages. So definitely pre-order that first issue just so you guys can dive into the story. Sounds super interesting. The covers are really captivating, so I'm excited. Go for it, John.
I don't know if it's because we're on Discord or what this is, but my app is acting weird. It's not.
Is that responding properly?
Right. So not all the time, no. So if it gets weird, that's why.
I'll expand on the story a little bit, because again, everything that I said, it sounds relatively grounded per se. It's still, what was happening from issue 5 moving forward. Even though, again, it starts in issue 5, the seed is from issue 5, but the book takes place in current times. And not only that, again, I don't know how many covers are out. I think at least until issue 3, it was shown. So we do have, again, it's the Spawn universe. So we have our human factions, hell factions, heaven factions. So far, even today, Todd McFarlane, I forgot if it was Todd McFarlane's Instagram page or McFarlane's comics, but one of them shared an image where it shows one of our big villains, which is Bellerophon, the Dark Necromancer. So again, it's a big kind of villain with some mysterious powers. We already also shown a character that I really, really love, and that I think it really speaks to Jonathan's design skills, which is the Crimson Seraph. I think we actually, for the first time here, when we were here, we showed his face that we had never shown, if I'm not mistaken, which is also our take on the angelic forces of the Spawn universe. And it's really, really, really different. So far, back in the day, you had your Redeemers, your Angelas, your Tiffany's, your angelic factions with the ribbons and all of that. With Brett Booth and Carlo Barberi, they get a bit more mechanical. And if you guys look for the cover of issue 3, it should be in one of our pages. It's this, the Crimson Seraph. It's this hulking creature with eyes all over his body, and it doesn't show there, but he doesn't even have wings because he's such a powerful being that he just has these 6 massive like power wings. God, it as a fan of Jonathan's work, to see all of this come in, it's just freaking awesome.
Hell yeah. Is it when you guys were creating the stories, did you draw inspiration from other maybe stories you've heard in the past or creators, something outside of the Spawn universe that you kind of drew inspiration to help write your story? Or was it kind of where how did you get the inspiration to write this? I mean, obviously the inspiration from the beginning, but as you're creating the story past the initial Spawn number 5, what were you kind of drawing that inspiration from? The horror aspect.
As far as the story goes, I don't have like a lot of inspiration per se. The inspiration came from the collaboration with Jonathan, where again, we got like a story going, and then even his designs influence what we're doing, and even because it's not just me trying to come up with a story and then tell Jonathan, okay, now you have this to draw. Like I said, even the Crimson Seraph, for example, like we were just talking about it, the way Jonathan designed it influence where that character story is going. I end up even rewriting stuff, and vice versa. There's stuff that I write, and then Jonathan comes back to us and ends up we end up talking about it, and I end up changing it based on his opinions and suggestions and all of that. So it's a very organic thing between the two of us, not necessarily trying to draw from anything else. Wouldn't you say, Jonathan?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yep.
Awesome. We got a question from the audience asking, besides the name change before publishing, what was the main challenge of the development in the Curse of Sherlee Johnson?
What would you say is your main challenge?
In the development of, I guess challenging in the sense of like creating new characters and populating, the story with different characters. It's a bit of a challenge, while you're also trying to produce, because some of that you're doing as you're going. Everything's not 100%, you're introducing new characters, so it's not all completely fleshed out in the beginning, like the looks and stuff like that. So that's a bit of a challenge.
Well, then oh.
I know, I'm watching.
Is that good or bad?
It's the most we've ever had.
The
Todd.
Jonathan Glapion
Take
effect.
Take that, Todd. Take it. Here,
This is the most viewed event we've ever done at OddKey because we haven't done joint live streams in the past to X and other platforms while we're doing it. So, yeah, congratulations to Todd Father and his own game.
Nice. Yeah.
No, and one of the things that's funny too, you were talking about influences. There's a thing because Jonathan doesn't really consume comic books. He doesn't read comics. He likes art. He looks at art. He buys comics for the art here and there, but that's pretty much it. I'm the one who reads a lot, and I read a lot of manga and all of that. So some of the things that I initially suggested Jonathan, per se, even when we were talking, like, hey, man, why don't we do like the main character, one of the main characters, because there's also this other character called the Stranger, who's the co-star in this book, even though it has Shirley's name. He's like, well, he should have this gigantic sword, like make it really cool and everything. In just our different sensibilities, I was looking at it as I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, and obviously Final Fantasy has huge swords, and Berserk, the manga, has huge swords. And Jonathan knows nothing of that. He ended up creating a really cool, badass big sword just because it's his own sensibilities of what he's like. It has nothing to do with the influences. You were even telling the story of like when you were creating The Stranger, you were more concerned in trying to have an action figure made, right, Jonathan?
Yeah. That's I created like the sort of like the character sheet and it had like the swords separate from the character, so you could see like the accessories of it. So yeah, it was kind of that kind of thing. But it's a weird sword. I don't know. I just wanted something chunky and awkward that not everybody could handle. I don't know. Look how terrible that is. But so yeah, I don't even know what we're talking about. I'm like,
well, Dan, you mentioned a little bit about how you, since you're kind of the writer, you consume more content. Over the past couple of years, while you guys have been developing the story and working outside of comics, what have you guys been like consuming content-wise, kind of just to keep the inspiration or be entertained?
What do you consume, Jonathan?
Yeah, what are you consuming over there?
This is some kind of French pear cider. Let's see. What have I been? I've been finished up Daredevil. As far as like TV stuff, you know, I'm a big. Absolutely. I like Yellowstone.
Oh yeah.
What was it? 1923 and 1883 or whatever it was. And I think and then just my kids screaming. That's what I consume.
Yellowstone and kids screaming. That's a lot of time right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I tend to read a lot of comics, a lot of manga, a lot of anime. I've actually stopped a little bit from the TV stuff for a while, to a certain degree, even try not to get too influenced and get too in certain shows. And I'm just getting old. I fall asleep very easily. But it's a lot of comics, a lot of books, very different things that me and Jonathan look at, which I think helps us then when we're brainstorming stuff. It's actually good because we have such different backgrounds in what we like.
Hell yeah. We actually have a
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say for me, I don't. If I pick up a comic, I have to be careful, like not letting too much art influence me. So I tend to am a bit careful.
Yeah, it's hard not to. I mean, if you're looking at, consuming all the time. Definitely.
Yeah.
Peter Bitro actually asked Daniel, since you read manga, have you had a chance to talk with any Japanese writers? And like, what are some key differences you notice between Japanese writers and Western writers?
Manga itself has a different story structure than a lot of like the Western stories, with the whole hero's journey and the 3-act structure. They tend to work. It actually has a name. I wouldn't be able to remember it, but they do tell their stories different. And while by no means I claim that we're trying to make a manga, it is one of the things that me and Jonathan spoke for quite a bit is, how do we want to tell this story? In trying to do this as collaborative as possible, we wanted this to be very action driven, like a lot of mangas are. And it's not a book with a lot of narration like it tends to happen in Western books, and not so much in manga. You just got the direct dialogue. So we are trying to use a little bit of manga pacing, if we might call it. It's a very action-packed book. But I would say those are the main similarities. I never had the pleasure or opportunity to actually be able to speak like with a Japanese writer or artist to really kind of go in. I know how they tend to work. They even go in kind of a studio kind of way of working, but I never had the chance to actually brainstorm with somebody.
Got you. Awesome. Thank you. Well, real quick, we just crossed over 1,000 viewers on Twitter. So if you guys are watching live on Twitter, make sure to come in discord.gg/McFarlane. You guys can join this Discord and come up, ask some questions to the creators of the Curse of Sherlee Johnson. Milton, so you hopped up on stage, man. Welcome.
Hi, hello. So hello, Daniel. Hello, Jonathan. Hope you guys are doing well. I hope that Daniel hasn't been putting you into a big torture with the pages.
Not too bad.
So my question is, what has been the process of coming up with the stories, not just the Shirley like origin story that you're coming up with, but also future story arcs for her alongside the current events of Spawn, like you've been telling on other streams. And a question for Daniel: are you willing to lecture me again on my work?
For again, a lot of people might not know, but Milton is a very, very talented and fellow Portuguese artist. He actually, if you go on his Instagram, and I think we shared it as well, he just did some really, really cool, a really cool Shirley and Stranger piece. This is the guy, Jonathan, that did this last piece that I showed you. It's Milton.
Thanks. Yeah.
So
Cool.
again, you people should see his stuff too. It's really, really cool. And as far as the stories and everything, again, it's what we said. It's being green. When we pitched this to Todd and Thomas Healy, we already went in. Like usually the team will go in with maybe a couple of pages in an idea of what they want to do. We went in with 12 fully developed issues as far as story goes and Jonathan's designs and all of that. So we already started with the first 2 arcs set in place. And we already have a lot more, but we are discovering though now, even though we had that like roadmap, we're deviating from it quite a bit because it's where the characters per se are telling us to go, and the discussions that me and Jonathan have and how we collaborate, it's already influencing and kind of taking the story to different places, which to me, even as a writer and again with the love of collaboration, I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
Nice. Oh, that's really cool. I actually like that you're kind of deviating from the roadmap because it probably works better for the flow, right?
Well, and it's all about the both of us being happy. And again, Jonathan can talk to that too. But it's I don't like the idea because if it was up to me, every issue moving forward would be a battle scene, almost like the Battle of the Helm or whatever it's called, or Helm's Deep from Lord of the Rings, and you would have 500,000 characters in each page. But Jonathan says it takes too long. It takes too long. I mean, it seems easy to write. Do 5,000 characters in this page. I don't know what he's complaining about.
Hey, Jonathan, relatable.
Right.
I get you.
If only,
How often are you finding yourself kind of giving a little slap to Daniel saying, hey, can you calm down on the writing a little bit?
No, we never have. We never have kind of those conversations. It's more like like a good example that I can give you is when he was excited about the Crimson Seraph having the 6 wings and how they were super massive. He's not necessarily thinking practically in the sense of like, okay, I got to fit all those 6 wings in a panel and it can get a little bit weird. So, and the reality that's a lot. And then wings have feathers. So, it just, is it practical to constantly like be drawing that all the time? For me, no. And it doesn't even sound fun.
No.
So I sort of reimagined what those wings would be, and they're more like an energy. I don't know if I can pull it up. So it's so the wings are. I don't know what you guys are seeing.
We can't. We still see you. Wait, doodle you were working on.
Okay, cool. I'll pull it up here.
I think I should be able to post it in the chat too. Let me see if I'm.
Yeah, but I can put it on my screen.
Oh, okay.
I can put it on my screen. So the wings are kind of like this energy, and I was like, what if he doesn't always have to have the wings showing? That's kind of cool.
Retro wings.
And they can kind of, so when he needs that power, that energy, there you go. He's super. You see, just gonna pull this up. Can you guys see that?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Hell yeah. That's a nice little
Yeah.
sneak peek.
Yeah. So the wings are a lot different. You know, I don't have to worry about feathers, and that energy can be as erratic. And all the 6 wings don't always have to be out. So that's kind of like a, you know, a workaround. That's
Yeah,
kind of
hell yeah.
the extent of like our disagreements. You know, we don't really have any.
Sounds like you guys got a healthy collaborative relationship then, if that's
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
and
I mean,
that
you know.
Oh, sorry, Jonathan. Because I was going to say that's actually again it's the cover for issue 3. And as far as the whole collaboration thing, because like I said, a lot of people sometimes assume is that Daniel's the writer, Jonathan is the artist, and that's it. But even this character, there's a big overlap. Like I said, because I always told Jonathan like this character, I really envision him as being really strong and powerful, and then to a certain degree, Jonathan's hatred of drawing feathers ended up influencing his backstory because for a lot of Spawn fans, if you know the mythology in Todd's universe, whenever Angel loses his wings, if it's ripped off or whatever, they lose their minds and they end up going crazy or dying or something like that. And we end up rewriting the story for this character because again, he is such a powerful being that he ripped off his own wings and it doesn't matter for him at all. He just conjures these gigantic like power wings at his will right now. So again, just a modification of Jonathan, wanting to do something different, completely influenced the character's origin.
That's really cool actually. Six wing mode is like final boss fight.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome.
We've shown the cover, the split cover, right, Daniel? That's been.
It's online, yes. Yeah, it's online. That one you can check. It came out as No Home Here, but yeah, it's online.
Yeah, I have it without. I have it without.
Oh,
the thing.
sick. That's
Yeah.
really sweet.
This is FCO coloring it.
And that's gonna be a cover.
FCO's colors. Yeah, that's a cover.
That's the cover for issue
You have the
2.
two.
That should be. Mhm.
Issue 2.
Yeah, that's going to be. It should be almost out for solicitations too. The second issue, shortly after it closes for issue 1. And again, it's that character that I was talking in the red background, which is Bellefonte, the villain, and then Stranger, who's also, like I said, one of the main characters alongside with Shirley. I think it makes for a really cool image. This one.
Heck yeah. Any more questions, Milton?
nope, that was all.
Appreciate you coming up, man.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Just to remind you guys, we have over 1.2K over on Twitter, and we got 40 people here on Discord. If you guys want to raise your hands or ask your questions in chat, feel free. This is an open space, no pressure. We won't get mad at you if you're having mic issues.
And we always enjoy some questions. Well, Jonathan, not so much.
Jonathan just likes to chime in every once in a while. Throw a roast at your way, huh?
Hard to draw and talk. If I were just inking, it'd be this would be a lot different. But when I don't know what I'm doing.
I can't even imagine.
That's why I might be a little quiet sometimes.
No, you're all good, man. I was just joking around. What's going on, NWO? Welcome to stage.
What's up, man? How you doing, Rem?
Doing well.
Yo, Jonathan, love your work. I'm looking at your Batman stuff. Like, the Olan doing with Greg Capullo. Now he does the pencils. Do you get those pencils and add color? Or do you redraw them as well?
He's breaking up for me. I didn't.
Yeah, NWO, you're cutting out a little bit during that. Could you restate that question one more time?
Here, let me get.
Yeah, you're cutting out bad, NWO.
Hold on. Let me get outside.
There, yeah. Get some good service.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yo, thanks, Rem. Hey, Jonathan, I'm looking at your Batman collabs with Greg Capullo. Now, he does the pencils. He does that. Do you redo it and then color it in, or you just do the color on his sketches?
I'm doing the inking, so in terms of like finishing the black and white line art. I don't do anything with the color. That's FCO that colors that stuff on the computer.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
inking it by hand. I'm going over his pencils by hand.
On the original drawing.
Yeah, that was
On the original
correct.
drawings.
Yeah, that was the question. Yeah, they look awesome, bro. All those Batmans.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. For sure.
Heck yeah, NWO. Appreciate you coming up, man.
It's one of the things that I don't know how people sometimes might not realize, because again, both me and Jonathan came from being inkers and jumped onto this project. Todd was gracious enough to believe in us and give us this opportunity, and it's such a different world. Like, even for example, for Jonathan, again, like they were saying, Jonathan was literally at the top of the world when it comes to inking, and now, in my opinion, he's still at the top of the artistic world for the amazing work that he's doing. You guys haven't seen a fraction of the pages that I've seen, but it's such a different world.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
I'm
it
super
is.
looking forward to it. When did you guys pitch how long ago did you guys pitch the concept to Todd, and how long ago did you guys start working on this book?
Oh God, we've been working on this for a while.
Yeah, I think it's
Quite a
been
while.
about a year and a half ago, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Because like I said, our book,
Something like that.
yeah, because our book was even one of the first, like in the very first wave of pitches and of these new launches for Todd. But again, and we say this with no embarrassment or reluctancy, it's our first time doing this. We appreciate them giving us the time to be able to do this in our time, and not mess it up, because what would have been the point of trying to get this out as fast as possible, and then we wouldn't be able to keep up with the deadline, or we wouldn't be able to to put our best work out. So Todd and Thomas and all of that are willing and supportive, and actually ask for it in a sense of just giving us our time to create this. So it's really cool for us. It's also one of the things, our book is coming out bi-monthly. It's not coming out every other month. For that reason alone, we've been working in the we've been working in the industry for so long as inkers. We've more than proven per se that we are responsible and professional artists as far as delivering deadlines, but we're in a completely different world. So it is very refreshing to have people behind us, believing us and giving us the proper time to do what we think we can do best.
Hell yeah. How did you, someone in the audience asks, how did you guys originally connect? And did you guys connect with this idea in mind, or it kind of blossomed the relationship?
We've been knowing each other for over a decade, like over 10 years. Like, so we were working, I had, Daniel was helping me, like he was assisting me on some of the books. Like I kind of took him in to help me.
Yeah, you're phrasing that wrong.
What?
You're phrasing that wrong in the sense, because Jonathan says I was helping him in some books, which is true, but the origin of it is Jonathan was helping me break in the industry. Like Jonathan said, we've known each other at this point probably for 12 or 13 years and speak on the phone almost every day. And it's because Jonathan helped me, and he's the reason I got in the industry. So yes, I was helping you with some pages, but because you were helping me get in the industry.
Yeah.
A little quid pro quo action. That's awesome.
I don't know if you guys are, some people might be looking at this like, what the hell is he doing? But I don't know what I'm doing. Sometimes this is fun to just experiment. So if you're wondering where I'm going with this thing, I don't know. That's the fun of like adding some stuff to it.
Is this a character in you guys' book? Or is this
sure.
He might end up being.
That's fine.
I don't know.
But we were also, again, talking about like how we've known each other, and it was a really long time ago, like I said. And I'm really grateful, and I mentioned this before again of how much Jonathan helped me get in the industry. But I'll say it again: my only angle in my friendship with Jonathan was for him to introduce me to Todd one day. So it's surprising that we're still here.
I was gonna say, John, how does it feel that your relationship's built on the back of him wanting something from you? Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No,
go ahead.
No. Cool, and like I say, I think it's very unusual in the industry. A lot of people are friends, of course, but for two artists, two inkers in this case, for knowing each other for so long and then to decide to collaborate like this, it is very rewarding because again, we trust each other, and we're just trying to do our best, and we go along with each other's weaknesses and strengths. So it's a very refreshing way of working. It really is.
That's awesome. That's super awesome. Peter Bitro in audience actually had a great question for you, Daniel, just because we often hear about how artists
shy away from what you need to say or whatever. And this is both new to us. This is new to both of us. So it's like we're just trying to find our way through our new crafts, so to say.
Absolutely. So you guys are learning together. That makes it more fun having a comrade with you.
Still trying to figure out what I'm doing.
So Daniel, we often hear about how artists should approach the comic industry, basically just sending their profile a trillion times and posting a million times everywhere. How should a writer approach the industry?
Hello?
Can you not hear me? Hello?
I think Jonathan is incredibly delayed.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you are really, really delayed, Jonathan. Yeah.
I think it's because of I wonder if it's because I'm doing this at the same time. I don't even know.
It's very possible.
That kind of sucks.
That does kind of suck. I'm sorry. I thought I was wondering what was happening. I didn't want to interrupt you, but makes sense. You couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
Is it all good now, John? Or is it better on your end, or is it still acting up?
It seems like it's not better.
It does not. Well, John, if it gets really bad, feel free to just cut your stream, and we can do audio only for a bit.
Don't know what to do.
If you can hear me, John, you could cut your stream, and you can just do audio for now, so that way it's not lagging on your end, and you're able to converse.
Is the video delayed?
The video looks good. Maybe I don't know if you want to try backing out and coming back in real quick, and just seeing if a quick reset does the trick.
Jonathan is texting me. I'm replying to him through text.
Yeah. Tell him to turn it off and back on again. That's the classic trick. In the meantime, Daniel, we'll go ahead and ask his audience members question, and hopefully John can figure it out on his end. What is it? How would you approach as a writer trying to break into the industry? Because artists, it kind of just makes sense. You could post your art on social media, but it's a lot harder to kind of post a narrative.
Yeah. Well, I already touched on this before, but again, as far as my strategy went per se was try to meet an inker who knows Todd to one day introduce me to Todd, and I can get work from Todd. That's how it worked for me, was trying to meet Jonathan.
You made a plan and you executed on that plan.
No, I'm kidding. But I will say it is hard for me to reply in the sense that this is my first writing gig. And even though everybody at TMP has been incredibly supportive and I hope to do more, I've always wanted to write. I've never had the courage to try and step out in doing it because sometimes it's very easy to just be like pigeonholed into something. And as an inker per se, it was very frightful to get out and try to show, oh, now I want to do this. It's not always well received. But and I think, I don't remember if we ever mentioned this, the way that it actually ended up happening was me, Jonathan, and Thomas Healy, the editor-in-chief, and the writer of the Nick's book that's coming out right now. We were together at dinner, and we just, we were talking, and we started talking about how me and Jonathan want to do stuff, and he asked if we had ideas, and on the spot we kind of pitched this idea that we've already been tinkering with, and it got approved very fast. So that's how it happened to me. So not a very normal approach to it, to be honest. I don't really know how you'd be able to do it if you're trying to do it on your own. I'm very honest. Are you back, Jonathan?
Yeah, can you not hear me?
Yeah, we can.
No, I can't. No, I can't. No, I can't.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Discord's definitely been acting up lately, and now this stream is not working on my end, but it's working on King Parzival's end, which is all that matters. No. I think we're good. Your stream's fine. We can just keep this thing rolling. No need to get confusing now. The Twitter can see John's stream. All we need to be able to hear is John and Dan. I don't think anything else matters. Okay, we do have some questions from the audience. Raw, I see you got your hand up. Feel free to come up on stage. Welcome. How you doing, Raw? We can't hear you, bud. Yeah, we can't hear you. Can't hear you if you're talking. The Curse of Sherlee Johnson strikes again.
Yeah.
Raul, can you? We can't hear you, buddy. If you're talking, your mic might be muted, or you have push to talk on.
Yeah, my computer's even being all weird. What the hell is going on here?
Discord just
What?
doesn't want to see us
destroying everything. My computer's being weird.
Turned on no audio. That was me. I'm sorry. No, I'm thinking it out. I was trying to turn it back on. That was me. I apologize.
You're okay. Raul, can you hear
That's
us?
That's terrible.
All right, Raul. Your mic's not working, so you can type your question in chat or try to check your settings and push to talk. Make sure that's off. Sorry about the technical difficulties, guys. The internet.
That's okay. I got a question for you real quick.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I'm having some problems here. Weird, like my app is doing something weird. And if you want to do this thing as an NFT, do I have to finish it on this stream?
No, you can. If you don't,
Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's totally up to you. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to finish it on stream. If there's some touches ups, and again, you don't have to create an NFT out of it. That's just something we like to do for the audience members here. But
that's fine. That's cool. This thing is acting really crazy right now, and I don't want to keep backing out just in case.
Yeah, for sure. You feel free to finish that later. We can go ahead and just chat the remaining of the time, so you don't have to be occupied.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Sounds good.
Don't mess with it.
Guys, if you guys are in the audience, make sure raise your hand, come on up, or ask your questions in chat. I guess, John and Dan, now that you have your own title and I'm super looking forward to releasing, and hopefully it goes very well and you guys can continue on that title for many years to come. But do either of you have sort of a dream project or a dream goal that you are wanting to do in your careers?
We have a few ideas of other ideas that we came up with. This was just the one that we pitched first. We have a very specific project that's very personal to both of us. So it's more like hopefully we can kind of get some experience doing this, hone our skills before we can, and then do that at some point.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much what we're trying to do all revolves about being able to do our own projects. And even though, because again, this is not technically a creator owned because it's within the Spawn universe, but with the amount of freedom that we're being given, we are literally just in our little corner of the Spawn universe, creating everything that we have, that we want. And like Jonathan said, we created other stories before this. So at the moment, like again, what we want to keep doing is just being able to tell these stories. I'm sure Jonathan very quickly will try to find like a superstar writer and get rid of me, but I still have a true love for my collaboration with him.
Crickets from Jonathan. So
Oh, Jonathan.
It's the delay.
Oh,
comedic timing delay.
Yeah. Yeah. So awkward.
Oh yeah, that's super exciting. Well, I guess we're gonna have to keep you guys coming around so you can whatever that secret project you guys. How many? Is there any like other titles? I know Spawn is pretty cool, but is there any other maybe besides your own stuff? Because obviously that's the end goal. It's just being able to create your own universe. But is there any like IP or big franchises that you guys maybe would see yourself working on in the future or wanting to work on in the future, just for posterity's sake?
Have anything. I'm just so focused on this.
Love
So
it.
much to learn.
yeah, quite honestly, I love the idea of being able to create new things that might remain in the fandom and all of that. I don't, and again, we've already worked on really big characters in the industry, like your Batman, Supermans, and all of that. So as far as, in my opinion, at least, I really don't have any other character that I would like. I would love to do some stuff for the actual Spawn book. Me and Jonathan already talked about that. We would love to play with the main guy. But as far as other stuff, I think we're very much on the lane of wanting to do our own creations.
Hell yeah. Jabizo, I see that Raul ended up asking his question in chat. Oh, Peter wants me to ask you if you guys plan on attending any conventions this year, and what are you guys' chances of attending stuff overseas? Like,
so overseas, so he's
like
probably
comic conventions overseas, yeah. Because he's in. I think Peter's from Australia, specifically.
Oh, okay. Me personally, this year I'm only doing New York Comic Con. I'm not even doing anything in Europe other than a small show or two here in Portugal where I live. Jonathan does a lot more than me. Again, you can go, Jonathan.
I don't have anything overseas. I have quite a few shows actually. I usually don't do this many shows, but since the book is coming out, I want to be able to thank people for buying 7 copies apiece. So my next show is, I believe it's Dallas Fan Expo. I know I'm doing Dallas Fan Expo, Phoenix Fan Fusion.
Oh, you're gonna be here?
Denver. Yeah, I'll be there.
I'll make sure to see you at Phoenix Fan Fusion then.
Nice, yeah. And then Denver, San Diego, and New York Comic Con. Those are the ones.
Packed schedule
so far, yeah. Yeah, too many. Gotta do it.
That's the grind. New book coming out. Show face.
Yeah.
Love it. Lord of Spork asks for Daniel, what genre were you kind of going with? He said for No Home Here, but the Curse of Sherlee Johnson. If you missed the wave.
We always spoke about, like I said, it all always goes back to the collaboration. So we were always like, okay, what story would you like to draw, Jonathan? What do you want to do? And it started, again, we already said this multiple times, Jonathan, but it started more with restrictions than with things that we want to achieve. And it started with Jonathan saying, sure, we can do a book as long as it doesn't have cars and buildings. And that's how the story started being developed. But as far as genre go, we're trying to go for a little bit of horror, suspense, action mix. We're trying to have it a very fast paced action book, when again, it is the Spawn universe, so a little bit horrific as well.
Gotta have that horror in there for sure. We have the question translated from Raw, who was up here on stage a little bit ago with the mic issues. His question was, what was the thing you liked the most about the process in creating this specific comic? And also, he wants to tell you that you guys are killing it and he can't wait to read the comic.
You can go first, Jonathan.
What was the most? I'm sorry. Say that again.
What was the thing you liked the most during creating this comic?
Just the collaboration, just the back and forth of trying to flesh out this part of the universe in a way that we kind of envision it, but the part of the upside of being green is we don't know. We don't have we don't have all the answers. So we talk a lot and try to figure things out and work our way through things. So for me, it's the collaboration and creating our own characters that we haven't seen in the Spawn universe before. So we can kind of put our little footprint within the Spawn universe with the things that we want to see, and hopefully the stuff that you guys kind of end up liking.
Yeah. For me, one of the things that I'm enjoying a lot that I never really went through it is I love the being able to write something in an hour, and then even if it takes 3 days to draw, I'm not doing that. No, but in all honesty, it is incredibly rewarding to be able to create a story with Jonathan per se. And then again, I consider Jonathan a highly superior artist to what I can do, even though I draw a bit, to then see what he does with what we're talking about. It gives me the two sides of the world. I get to be a creator and I get to be a fan every time a page comes in. So that's really cool.
That is awesome. Yeah, you get to write some content. And you're like, all right, what is he cooking up?
Yeah, it is really, really cool.
That's awesome. Well, people out in the audience, we're past the hour. I want to make sure everyone has a chance to come up on stage, ask their questions. So don't miss out. Feel free to raise your hand or type them out in chat. I know we have hundreds of people over on Twitter, X. So be sure you guys join discord.gg/McFarlane. You guys can tune in, hop up on stage, and we do these events all the time. John, Dan, thank you guys. Your time has been very, very welcome. I'm glad we got to catch up, just because I think it's been really awesome kind of following the development on the sidelines, even though we've only had brief talks here and there. But it's definitely cool to see your guys' book come to fruition. I really can't wait to read it. May 21st is the release day, right?
May 21st, yes.
Awesome. I'm going to post up a link in the chat for everybody.
It's the 28th.
28th?
The order.
The order cutoff.
Sorry, go ahead, Daniel.
The order cutoff is on the 28th, and then it comes out on the 21st.
100%. We got a kind of a funny question. Peter asks, Daniel, what is the best Portuguese art in the USA? Portuguese tart in the USA.
Oh, no, that's going to be a terrible.
It's not in the USA. He's going to say
it. Are you thinking about the Portuguese custards, Jonathan? Yep. That's a big problem. Yeah. And Jonathan knows, whenever I go to the States, and I love the United States, but it always goes with me saying, this pastry is not as good here. This coffee is not as good here. So I do have to say, if any of you guys manage to come to Portugal, find Portuguese custards. They are the best thing that you can have, and I've never had anything remotely close to the quality there.
just specifically the custards, or?
Yeah, these specific custards, I don't know how you would call it there. I'm going to say it in Portuguese, which is going to mean absolutely nothing for anybody in this audience, but it's pastéis de nata. It's a specific Portuguese custard, or you don't even forget. They're so delicious. It's crazy. And it's making me incredibly fat by the day.
That's hilarious. I mean, Milton had typed out that name in chat, and the way I read it and the way you pronounced it was completely and utterly different.
Oh, yeah. Yep. It is delicious. But you guys Google that and then you'll see what it is. I've seen it in the pastries over there, but it is not the same.
All right, well, I'll put it on the bucket list.
We had it in Hell's Kitchen at a little Portuguese sandwich shop. And
yep.
I thought it was really good, but Daniel said that it was, I guess, about as close as it can be but not very accurate, or not as good.
Nope.
Well, let me ask you this, John. When you're in your late night drawing sesh, you're in the zone.
Do late at night.
Nothing. No, you're not a late night worker. Okay. Yeah, early in the morning when you're getting in your groove, what's your go-to meal to get the brain juices flowing when you're in the art mode?
I do a Cuban coffee. That's my first meal. Other than that, I don't know. I don't eat breakfast a lot.
No, I feel that.
I eat breakfast a lot. Shit, I don't know, man.
Breakfast is so 40s.
I like, I always complain to my wife about, like, I wish we had a place that did really good breakfast burritos or something like that. But I don't know, something with Nashville and tater tots. They just put tater tots in everything, and it's just like, God, Jesus Christ, just give me.
How is Nashville? How's the traffic been getting? I moved out 2 years ago.
Oh, you used to live here?
Yeah, back when we did the first cafe, I think we talked a little bit about it. But yeah, I used to live in Nashville.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid. The traffic is stupid.
I can't even. Yeah, that's the reason I had to leave.
Yeah, it's not going to get better. It's not going to get any better. It's just. I don't even drive, man. I don't even like to drive. People are just stupid. I don't even care if I own a car, really. But my family has to get around.
What people are getting off of this is that me and Jonathan are old hermits that don't get out.
Right.
Again, my life when I'm not, working on out of that, because I live by the ocean. So it's, when I finish work, I go and do walks by the ocean and kick rocks.
You never go outside, whatever.
Yes, I do, unless it's raining.
I go hang out. He made it really sound like he hangs out at the ocean.
Yeah, I'm at the beach daily, skipping rocks.
Yeah, I don't believe it. Doesn't go outside. Ask him how late he stays up.
Oh, you're a night owl, Daniel?
Well, I mean, even right now, again, remember, I'm in Portugal. It's past 1 o'clock in the morning at this point.
That's a good point.
But and Jonathan, we will say one of the things that we do together other than working, a lot of times I finish my day at 1 or 2 a.m. or something with me and Jonathan playing a couple of matches of Call of Duty together.
Oh, hell yeah. You guys hop back on Verdansk or what?
Ever heard of that?
No, we don't do we just do the multiplayer. That's too hard for us.
We don't play the sissy mode. We play hardcore.
At least there's that.
Play hardcore. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Did you guys hop on the Call of Duty when you had to change your book title or what? Take out some.
Oh, probably.
Well,
clear your mind a bit.
I will, and I will say I don't like to compliment Jonathan a lot, but usually we go on Call of Duty to again unload frustrations which ends up being Jonathan killing 50 people for match and being number 1, and I kill 6 or 7 and I'm last. But I'm there, I'm helping.
That's awesome.
Or you like to drop grenades?
True.
Hold them for a little too long.
Right.
Oh, you guys playing hardcore. How often you team killing, Daniel?
I do kill
A
Jonathan
lot.
my fair share.
That's
that's
the fun
just
part
fun.
of it.
Yeah, that's a
It's
good
like, dude,
time.
I was on a roll. What happened? Oh, sorry, that was me.
Gotta get your ghost streaks. Work the feed. Daniel.
Yeah, like, come on, man. What?
It does, every now and then I do listen. This is what I hear usually. God damn it! Did you kill me? Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. What's going on, BK? I see you hopped up on stage, man. You got a question?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, Rem, thanks for
up?
pulling me up.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I had a question for both Jonathan and Daniel, because you guys are creators of this new arc coming out, the Sherlee Johnson, and I mean, it looks wild. It's got, me interested, definitely out of the many Spawn titles that are going on. I was just wondering. Forgive me if I missed it, if you guys are already going into it, but I was just wondering what was your inspiration to draw back and, go that far back in the Spawn lore and, bring this to the table, and how did it work out together for both y'all?
I mentioned before again that one of it for me was a very simple thing, and it though, and I didn't mention it before, but it all came down to consequences. For me, was always like, what is the consequence to Spawn being an anti-hero? And while everybody read that issue 5, and was just horrified at what Billy did, and then they were happy that Spawn got his revenge in my mind, because we never saw Shirley die. So I always thought, did she die, or was she still alive in Spawn and his hunger for violence and vengeance, not revenge? He never even looked for her. So what does that do? And now, we started fleshing out the story from there, and Shirley now has her own power. She has, apparently Clown's makeup and everything. She's related to all of that. What are going to be the consequences to Spawn being an anti-hero? Because if he had saved her, maybe it would have ended there. But now she has power. Is she going to be on a vengeful vein, and also now going after him, or also killing people? It will have a ripple in the Spawn universe. One tiny person, per se, that he didn't save, and when they come to power, there's consequences.
Wow. Okay, cool. I mean, sounds more interesting to me. Sorry if I made you repeat yourself, but I'm glad I got to hear it. I like the writing plot and like the thickness behind that for sure.
And again, people will see, because we're creating everything new, per se. That is the main focus of our story. But and I'm a big Spawn fan. I still buy Spawn to this day, so I know the lore very well, in my opinion. So there will be some familiar faces popping in here and there. The first issue will have some. But it all makes sense within the universe and the connections of everything that happened. And one of the things too, and I was mentioning earlier about Jonathan's just like design abilities, not just the drawings that he does. The art is amazing in itself, but his designs, and even the new character, the old characters of Spawn that will eventually show up, they're not going to look like they did, because a lot of time has passed. Issue 5 was a long time ago, and our book takes place in present time. So the characters that will appear, and some they will also be completely different, because time has passed, and a lot of stuff has happened. Which, again, for me, it's really cool to explore.
All right. Yeah, that's really cool. And that makes a lot of sense. It's good to see character development. And I mean, just looking at the cover, I didn't know when I saw the clown makeup if that was just like, like for a cover thing, but you're telling me that's a character detail into the plot. That's like super cool to hear.
It is, because if you, I'm sorry to cut you off. If you go and read Gunslinger Spawn, the new series that Todd created a while back, in the beginning it shows that Kincaid and Clown made a deal, and Billy Kincaid, in essence, sold the souls of the kids that he died to Clown. And Clown nowadays has all these little minions that look like him. So technically, Shirley should be a little minion. Why is she
Whoa.
not?
Okay.
There's a lot behind that, and it is also connected to Spawn and everything. And it, like I said, it's been a long time. Where has she been? Why does she look like this? Why is she not a clown minion? Who's this new character with a huge sword, the stranger, who's also the co-star of the book? I mean, again, and this is a little bit biased, but I think we're going into like really fun places with this book.
Yeah, it looks like it and it sounds like it. I mean, we've had a few times like asking, like discussing the minion or the mini clowns, what they're called, what their lore is, just kind of wondering. And the fact that you're going to be getting to go into that, that's going to be a cool touch, especially into the story and the lore for sure. That's cool to hear.
Sweet.
And
See the splash page up there?
Yeah, we can see it over on Twitter. It's looking, I don't know if for those of you not able to see John's stream here in Discord, tune in on the Twitter real quick. He's showing up some of the art. It looks really sweet.
See.
Yeah, I'm seeing that image.
Here's a,
I want to see. I want to see the art. Let me see if I don't turn the audio again.
Oh, we got a
let's see
screenshot
if I
here.
can zoom in on this.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then here's a shot of the freezer. And there's a little. So the pizza box on the top says Unky Dan's Pizza. And I don't know if you guys are seeing that right now, but that the significance of that is that's what our daughter Parker calls Daniel. She calls him Unky Dan. So I gave him a little pizza box on top of the fridge.
But even if you zoom out on that page so people can see, because that one has been shown too. Again, that's like the little bit of the beats of the beginning of the book, which is Shirley in the freezer, her bloody dress, her like suffering eyes per se. Because and again, you might have not caught this early on. This is not a spoiler, but it's how the book starts. We had mentioned it already. One of the things is she is reliving her death over and over again. She's stuck in a loop where Kincaid keeps killing her. Spawn keeps coming in, doesn't save her, goes away, and she dies and starts over. And then something happens that's going to break that cycle and get her together with the stranger. And that's where the story starts.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be sweet.
And the stranger.
Well, we got another question actually from Peter Bitro. He said, aside from your guys' book, what would you think would be cool for a Spawn universe movie?
No, for a movie.
For a movie?
Yeah. Besides the classic origin story, I would guess as well.
Me personally, I would love a Western gunslinger Spawn movie.
Oh, that would be nuts.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Yep.
Like one of those like really gritty Westerns, I'd be really down for that.
You think Spawn would be good as an animated show?
Oh, I mean the original, the original anime is so good. So
I think a gunslinger animated.
Yeah. Yep.
I could get done quicker and cheaper as well, I'd imagine.
Yep. 100% agree. Oh, see, there you got your stranger with his giant sword.
Oh, wow. Yeah, King Parzival just posted it up in chat as well for people not being able to see the stream. That sword looks like it could do some damage.
And it's a character, like I said, it hasn't been very spoken about, but he is the co-lead with Shirley.
Is this character introduced in issue 1?
He is introduced in issue 1, yes.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. Well, make sure y'all get your pre-orders in. The cutoff is the 28th of May for orders, but the book comes out
of April. Of
April. Oh, really?
Yes, it cuts off like a month before the book comes out. So, like I said,
days.
Well, not 3 days. What day is today?
April 18th.
Oh no, 28th. It's the.
Oh,
it cuts off the 28th of April. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And then it comes out on the.
You guys got a week. You guys got about a week to get your pre-orders in for this release. When will the pre-order release for Ryan Otley's cover go live?
hopefully in the next few days. We don't have an exact date.
Yeah.
We're hoping, maximum by Monday we'll be out to at least give, people a week to be able to get it.
Hell yeah.
Because
Well, I know I'm gonna be
just
getting one
by
of each cover.
because just by that, by coming out,
But it's a cool cover.
Yep, but just by coming out so on top of the date, maybe not everybody will see it. That alone is going to make it a rare cover to begin with.
Definitely. Well, we'll have to keep our eyes on that. I'm gonna get one of each cover for sure. And John, I'm gonna get your signature at Phoenix Fan Fusion.
I'll be there.
Hell yeah. Well, if we have no more questions from the audience, I don't want to keep Dan way past his bedtime. I really appreciate you guys joining us again. This has been awesome, showing off a lot of cool stuff. And the Curse of Sherlee Johnson, May 21st. Everyone listening, make sure you guys pre-order. And the first issue is going to be a 2-episode. It's 44 pages. So definitely get on that. John, Dan, where can people find you?
By the ocean.
Yeah, right. At his desk.
All right, I'm not talking about once in a blue moon. Where can people find you reliably?
I'm more present on Instagram at Daniel Henriques and also on Blue Sky nowadays more than anything. And you, Jonathan?
Yeah, same thing. More Blue Sky, Instagram. I try to be pretty active. Not so much on Twitter, but yeah, Blue Sky for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I do have to say, you guys have such a cool community here and so active in the comments and everything. It's really fun to be here. It really is.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you guys could stop by. We and everyone here is a Spawn fan, so definitely looking forward to having your book. And whenever that thing goes live, we'll have to have you guys back so we can do a little breakdown of what we thought.
Okay. Yeah, just before we go, Jonathan, you should show the double spread of Spawn and Kincaid. Everybody's a fan here.
Spawn and Kincaid. Oh, okay. Hang on one second.
Page 2 and 3, because I mean that one is. I think that would be a good part way gift per se.
Well, sneak peek action.
It's already been shown, but I mean, for me, it's so cool.
You don't need to tell us that. You can make us feel special by saying you never shown it.
I apologize. Well, it was never shown with Jonathan Glapion commentary on top.
Ooh.
Right. Yeah, that's a little shot of Spawn.
Yeah, no, sorry. I saw that King Parsifal. I just posted it. It actually refreshed quicker than my feed. Is 100% on top of the game.
Good, well done, Pars. That's sweet little panel right there. Billy just getting absolutely worked.
Yep.
Nothing better than watching a pedo get his ass beat, huh?
Yep.
It's just FCO's colors. I colored the whole issue 1.
Number 1. Yep.
And then we had FCO come on board and just had him start from the beginning because we wanted it to just remain be consistent, his vision or his taste in colors. So yeah.
Well, that is a sweet panel. I'm super looking forward to it.
That's a lot of work trying to pencil ink and color.
I bet. Hell yeah. Thanks for that sneak peek, fellas. Appreciate you guys doing this. John, thank you so much for sharing your screen and just kind of doodling while you were doing this. Very entertaining.
Yep.
And I guess
no problem. Thanks for.
Yeah, no worries. It doesn't look like we have any more questions, but I'm sure we'll do this again sometime. John, Dan,
sounds great by me.
Hell yeah. And John, if you're still interested in making that an NFT, you can just go ahead and either shoot me a DM or anything like that, and we'll get this filed to the people here in the audience.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good. I don't know if anybody wants it, but we'll put it out there.
They do. Heck yeah. Well, appreciate everyone for tuning in to this OddKey Cafe. Believe it or not, we actually have another one tomorrow. So if you guys are not doing anything on the weekend, please feel free to circle back. We'll be having Kevin Keen on. John, Dan, appreciate you guys so much, and best of luck on the title. I hope it's a smashing hit.
Thank you, and we'll be here
Thank you.
again to talk
Appreciate
about it.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thank you for all the support from the Spawn community. You guys are awesome.
100%.
Sweet. Peace out, guys. Daniel, go enjoy the ocean.
Bye, guys.